Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the behind the scenes of all things systems, strategy, automation. Now, this is a 30 minutes live um, episodes where basically we talk about the behind the scenes of your business. Okay, we get to answer questions that you've always had, but for some reason you are not able to answer those questions, or maybe you're not just able to ask those questions, or maybe you're not able to you are yet to come across that one person who is able to answer your question. Now every week we come here Wednesday 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I break down all of your unanswered questions. We've had series of episodes. Last week we were talking about why not streamlining your business can basically be the reason why you keep slowing up on your growth. Now, today we're going to be talking about why does your business, okay? Because I literally get questions and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's talk about these questions. Today we're going to be talking about why does my business feel harder the more it grows? Like the more I put in effort, the more I scale, in quotes, it just feels harder. It feels overwhelming. It feels like it's just too much. Now we're going to be talking about that today. If you're new to this space, my name is TC Okore, and we're not going to waste so much time. Okay, when it comes down to your strategy, systems, automation, that's where I am. Just call my name. Okay. Now let's get into something founders rarely admit publicly. Why does the business feel heavier the more it grows? That's a striking question, right? And today we're going to be talking about it. You have more clients, more revenue, more team support. You feel like you have everything, but for some reason, it still feels overwhelming. It still feels like a whole lot. Behind the scenes, everything feels harder. And if that's your reality, we're going to be breaking that down today. I want to be the one to free you tonight. All right. Now, this is something I want you to take. You're not the problem. Your systems just simply didn't grow with you. No hard feelings. You just need to figure out how to fix it. What's your next step? Okay. Now, most founders build backend from where they started, not where they are going. Does that make sense? When you start to figure out your growth level, your next step, what I see is most founders start to build their backend from where they started from, forgetting the fact that you leverage your future, how you want your business to look like, what you want your organization to feel like, what you want the perception of the experience, to feel like, instead of you to focus your growth pathway towards that space because that's where you're going, right? That's where you're headed towards. Most times I see so many of us build our back end from where we started. And when your systems don't evolve, your business kind of feels heavier. It feels slower. It's more reactive. Now, like I said tonight, I want to show you exactly why this happens and how you get to fix it so that your business can intentionally finally feel lighter, feel faster, feel more aligned again. Now, like I said, this is the behind the scenes where basically we answer all of your unanswered questions. Every questions that have been literally broken down here is basically to give you answers, to give you the clarity you need when it comes down to your strategy, your systems, the automation, that efficiency you need in your business, right? Now, like I said, we've had series of questions. Today's question is simple. Why does my business feel heavier, as I grow? This is what I want us to picture why we go through this 30 minutes, right? One thing, tell me in the chat where you're streaming this from, because we're currently streaming on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So tell me where you are watching this from. If you're watching the replay, also let me know, where you're watching watching it from your location, just give me a hi. I love to connect with you as much as possible. That's if we're not yet connected. All right. So this is how I want us to go. Firstly, understand that growth becomes overwhelming when your systems don't evolve with your business. I'm going to just go straight to the point. That if you don't have questions for me, and if you have questions, remember to always, call me back. Okay. I'm here and I'm happy to answer the questions. Now, breaking down the real reasons scaling becomes very stressful. You need to understand that growth is an essential part of every business. I mean, if you're not growing, I don't know what you're doing, right? However, sometimes we find it feeling heavy. We find that it's harder. Like the more you grow, it just becomes harder. But you're growing. So what's the problem? And we're going to be breaking down the three, more. Anyways, I'm going to give you more. So we're going to break it down real reasons why scaling becomes stressful. Now, my goal here is to open your eyes to the things that basically to the gaps, right? I want to open your eyes to those gaps, give you that clarity so you can go back and be like, okay, yeah, now this is what it is, right? Now, the first reason I have seen is most likely that you built your business, your systems or whatever process you currently have, whatever you currently have today, you literally built it for yesterday's business, not where you're headed towards. Remember, what worked with 10 clients breaks at 30. I'm even going too far. Literally breaks at 15. You need to always be a step ahead. What worked with two team members, honestly, will snap at 5. What maybe worked in month 1 and now you want to use it for quarter 4, or maybe you started something in January, forgetting the fact that there's so many reasons why it just might not work. So we want to take the things that we've been doing in month 1, the same flow, the same process, you think it can be applicable in Q4. Mm-mm. You need to understand that it doesn't work that way. Now, another reason could be that your tools have multiplied. It's I know we're in the tech age, AI, all of those. The whole goal is productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, to make things soft, make things easier. It's not to overwhelm you the more. But what most of us do is accumulate tools. Everything, the more we go, the more tools. Like next year, you're going to get bombarded with even more. And the funny part is that you don't need extra. You just need to optimize what you currently have. Now, you found yourself accumulating several tools. Your tools have multiplied, but your clarity didn't. And you're still backward in your mindset, in everything you're doing, and you're growing. Okay. Now you have more apps, more automations, more dashboards, but no unified flow. Nothing is talking to anything anymore. You're like, what exactly is happening here? Now, another reason can be your team is now busy. Now, when I say busy, I mean you're doing something, you're doing things, right? But you're not aligned. Now, it's one thing to build a team and have a team that is busy. It's another thing, another scenario entirely, that this is the most profitable and most refreshing, the aligned team. Now, everyone is working, but not towards the same clear process or outcome. Oh, this is how we do it, kind of vibe. Or no, I do my own, you do your own. And then imagine you have like an organization and then you have like series of outlets, and this area is doing something else, this area is doing something else, this area is doing something else. Now in your mind you're thinking, oh, everybody just if the areas in your business, the departments in your business do, if they don't have this alignment, then there is a very huge problem. Okay, you want to work towards the same clear process because eventually it's really about the same outcome. Everybody is working towards achieving the same goal, achieving the same outcome. Okay, now if you have all of these people everywhere and no one is talking to no one, what's the point? Another reason that I have seen um, can just be can be you're making decisions without data. Now we kind of put so much light, like we make this so not so important. It is important, very, very important. You need to make your decisions based on the data that either somebody else have. So it could be primary data or secondary data. Data needs to be involved. Every business that needs to scale needs to walk around data, the right data. Now, without reporting, without forecasting, because like literally you just become the whole guesswork kind of organization. Okay, so now when you make decisions, you are making decisions based off of what's actually factual. For how long do you want to keep working on guesswork? For how long do you want to keep telling yourself, maybe, let me just go with the flow? How many of a competition do you see going with the flow? Let's be very real. If you keep, oh, let's just go with the flow. Oh, let's just go with the flow. Now, I'm not saying you should do something unrealistic. I'm saying work with data. Okay? Understand what has worked in the past. Understand the flow. Understand your customers' behavior. Understand your stakeholders' behavior. All of this will help you a whole lot into making more informed decisions. So that way, you're not just working on guesswork, you are very intentional. Now, I want to break down um, a simple three-step flow for scaling with clarity. Because now that we've highlighted the reasons, the problem, I cannot just leave you and say, okay, you know what, bye, we're done. Mm-mm. When you say, oh, my business is feeling really heavy because I see myself growing. I see myself growing, but the more I try to do this thing, the more I try to grow, it feels really heavy. It feels like maybe I'm just making a mistake. We've highlighted the problems, we've highlighted the reasons. Now let's talk about how you get to fix it. Okay? Now, the first thing you want to do is be sure that you're ready. That's a bonus tip, okay? Bonus step, upper level step. Be sure that you are ready before you go into the main three-step flow for scaling with clarity. Step one, review what you currently have, what you've done in the past, what has happened in the past, what still works, what's outdated, where you have bottlenecks, what's been repeated manually. When most times you start to feel overwhelmed, you start to feel scared, you start to feel um you start to feel heavy, you want to pause and reflect. Take a notepad, take a note pen, take a whatever, take note. What worked in the past? How did these people react when you did this? At what stage was their reaction? Try to picture all of these areas and then note them down. You'll be amazed as to the leaky holes you get to find. Okay, now step one, review. Review, 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 review. Now, step two, I love this part because we want to be very intentional, right? Um, we want to know that we are making the right decisions. Okay. So step two, because you reviewed, you figured out all of those little part that you seem, because you have so much going on, you kind of forget, right? But you've taken that step back and you've reviewed, or maybe you've had your team review or all of that. Now someone is looking at everything from outside, inside. Yeah, outside, inside. Right? So say for example, personally I would say don't do it yourself if you are able not to. Okay? Because most times someone from the outside is better able to see the things that you are blinded by, but maybe because obviously you get emotional and all of that, but this has nothing to do with your emotions. It has everything to figure out, okay, your clarity, what next to do, even all of the emotions that you feel right now. Honestly, once you're able to get that needed clarity with proof, with data right in front of you, it becomes easier. Okay, now step two, refine, simplify, and realign. You see, all that you had to work on, you reviewed it, now you want to simplify it and realign it. Your tools, tags, team handoffs, customer experience, workflows, communication channels, simplify as much as possible. There's nothing like, oh, you want to put this and put that and put. Mm-mm. If it feels heavy, it is heavy. Okay, there's no point trying to sugarcoat. If it feels heavy, it is heavy. Now what you want to do is make it lighter, simplify it, and realign it. Okay, now step three, I love this part. Now that you've realigned, you've simplified and all of that, now what you want to do is rebuild. Okay, like I always say, even if you're watching this replay, make sure that you ask all of your questions, take all of the notes, and implement. That's the power. Implement. And that's why I'm taking my time to break this down for you. Okay. Now, step three, rebuild. Introduce structure. You cannot grow without structure in place. Now, it might not be something you just wake up in the morning and boom, you have no. It takes stages. So walk your way through it. Introduce structure into it. You want to automate what's repetitive from step one, yeah? Because you figured it out now, you have it clear. So you're able to say, okay, these areas, I keep doing it, doing it, doing it. Because it's the same flow. Why do I keep doing it manually? I can just automate it because either way, it's still going to pass through the same process. So why do you keep doing it manually? Why do you keep thinking about it? Why you can just automate the thing and just let it go? Document what's unclear. Growth is not about perfection, it's about clarity. Now, clarity is also about understanding that you cannot be clear about everything. Now, when you become unclear about something, document it, note it down. Remember, success in your business is not perfection. It's the fact that you are aware of the weaknesses, you are aware of your strength, you are aware of the threats coming to your business, you are aware of the awareness is key. And for you to be aware, you also want to understand what is unclear. What do I need to work on? Tracking what matters. Sometimes some people ask me, well, TC, what you mean by structure? I'm just breaking it down. So sometimes you might need to automate what's repetitive. Sometimes you might need to document what's unclear. Sometimes you might need to track what matters. Remove what is slowing you down. That's the whole essence behind you building a structure. Now, you don't need to wait till you start to make six figures, 1 billion figures before you put that structure in place. At least your foundational structure. You see, that structure is what will get you faster to your six figure. And structure, depending on where you are, can just be being in awareness of what exactly happening in your business, what's working, what's not working. That could be your very first step. Because sometimes it is the fact that we become oblivious to certain things that's basically what dragged us down, and then draw us just draws down our growth. Okay, now this is what I would say to you: you don't grow by doing more, you grow by doing what works better, cleaner, more consistently. Consistently consistently. Now, so let me give you one or two examples. We've had we've had tons of clients have really good experiences. We've had founder who basically regained 15-20 hours of their time weekly. You know, a client told me something, and she's like, "Oh, you know what, TC, I've not made money in my business." I said, "Okay, um, you've not made money in your business. All right. But tell me, what have you been doing of recent?" And then she's like, "Oh, now I realize that I have more time, to write my book. Now I have more time to spend with the kids. Now I have more time to market, and I've been getting really good connections. I've been building really good relationships." And she just kept talking. She's like, "Can you imagine, TC? I literally typically I would, for me to generate leads, I would spend tons of money on, ads, but I literally now cut off all the ads because I've been getting like really good relationships, building them, and all of that. And also I was able to get featured in like two magazines. The best part is the fact that I had now at least I get to save 10 hours every week, and that's such refreshing for me. And I just saw she kept talking, and I'm like, isn't that enough win? Now you want to figure out how you can leverage all of your wins. What are you saying? Now you have 10 hours, some people 15 hours, 10, 15 hours, 10, 15 hours. Think about what you can use that for. You've written your book. Think about how you want to market it. You've had all of these features. Think about how you want to monetize it. Why are you dwelling on the negative, slowing the momentum down when all of these things, because now you have structure, now you want to figure out, now you have all of this, you have now time, you have better clarity, you have this. Now, what else is dragging the money out? Then you figure out how you want to tackle that. Now, but most of the time, we're so bent on the zero point 0.5, all because, oh, I've not made my six figures, forgetting the fact that it can't just be because you're yet to tap into those amazing relationships that you're building. So many of us have really good, amazing relationships, but we cannot open our mouth to say, "This is what I do." Why? Because we are proud. We don't want people to say, "You're asking me for a favor." I don't understand. Don't you? Aren't you running a business? If you don't talk, how will people know? You have all of this relationship. You get featured. You get featured in your future. Why didn't you market your book? Will I go there and market your book for you? Now you have the book. You have the structure. You have the things to sell. You cannot open your mouth. Will I open your mouth now to sell it for you? Now you have 10 hours, 15 hours, you're able to stay with your kids. Like, what are you saying? But so many times, because we are yet to document our clarity and things that are not clear, we do not understand the opportunities that are right in our nose. We've had non-profit organizations who literally get their donor flow fixed, like literally, and then now they start to get consistent donations. We're not talking thousands for the donation stream, but every $50, every $100 consistently, what that is telling you is these people feel you're reliable. These people feel that you are consistent. These people trust in your mission. Now you have 50 donor who every month they are donating to your cause. Now, I don't know what specific, but I know there are about 55 donors for this particular client, right? Consistently donating to the cause of this business, right? Now, what are you supposed to do? Figure out, how can I bring these people on board? How can I build my capacity? How can I do this? How can I do that so that you need to be able to tap into your strength. We've even had situations where we had our clients who were like, I think she's like a coach, consultant to coach, because she coaches as well. And she has like a lead closing. Now, these leads, mind you, are warm leads, super warm leads, because now she has the product, she has the offers, and it's all in alignment. Now, you want to understand this: visibility, systems, conversion. Okay? Now, that's basically how it runs. What you don't know most times is actually greater than you, because you do not have that awareness. Okay? Now, if your business feels heavy, like it's feeling heavy right now, please be sure to know that it's not because you are unorganized. It's not because you need another VA. Most times it's not because you're doing anything wrong significantly. It's just simply because your systems are outdated for the level that you are grown into and the level you are going into. You deserve a back end that supports you, not one that slows you down. Okay, so now if you want clarity where the leaks are, a step-by-step plan to simplify, scale your operations, that's exactly what I help founders like yourself inside of visibility and conversion systems audit. I kind of feel like most times now this audit is very important. Why? Because I'm of this mindset that you can't just wake up in the morning and you just want to do something without even understanding why. On what basis? Why do you want to do it? So many of us keep spending money, spending money. We don't even know what do we need right now. Because sometimes it's not about everything you do, it's about that important thing that you fix to get to that next step, or you get clear about, or you align to get to that next step. You want to figure out, okay, in what phases should I be able to put all of these things so I'm able to grow, so my system evolve with me. Now that's what the visibility and conversion systems audit is all about. We kind of review your back end, your business back end, your sales pipeline, your tools, your workflows, your visibility strategy. And then we help you build a clean, simple roadmap that matches your next level. Okay. Now, if you are this is really what I always like to say. Okay, if you are ready for your business to feel lighter, you see the link right. Let's just going straight down, right? Take that link, book that 15 minutes clarity call. You can go to my bios as well. Just get straight into that call. Now, I don't want you to build any system. I don't want you to set up any workflow automation. I don't want you to build any funnel. I don't want you to put any structure in place without getting clear as to what you need, why you need, and how you can make it work. All right. Now let's help you. Let's my team and I help you rebuild your business backend in a way that basically supports your growth, not suffocates it. Okay. Now I'm going to see you all next week. Let's make it a date again next week. I would work on scheduling this earlier, but make sure that you make a date next week, 8 p.m. Share this with your friends, repost, connect as much as possible. Okay. I want to see you in the comment section asking all of your questions, and I also want to um connect with you in the DMs. Okay. Let me know what your questions are. Let me know how far you've gone with all the steps that I listed out, because I'm super excited to support your growth. All right. I'll see you all next week. And in the meantime, stay connected on this platform. All right. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye, y'all.